And we welcome you to the 2022 MLB RBI Central Regional Tournament from the campus of the University of Illinois at Chicago's Curtis Granderson Stadium. It's the Cincinnati Reds RBI hosting of the Kansas City Royals RBI programs. With that, we say hello and welcome you back to the broadcast booth for our second of four games here on the Windy City Sports Network 2. Kevin Malater joined by Austin Kroom. Austin, we just witnessed a thumping put on by Guardians RBI. These two teams seem to be a little bit more evenly matched on paper. What do you think we should expect today from both sides?
I'd expect more or less of a dogfight than the first two games of this tournament. I mean, the Cubs versus the White Sox ace was a blowout to say the least, and then the Guardians versus the Twins was that was quite a matchup. You could see how heavily one-sided that one is. Like you had said, Kevin, both on paper and how they practice, and they look pretty evenly matched. I'd expect a good back-and-forth fight. And I do not see a mercy coming in the fifth at all. I expect this to go full seven.
You expect a full seven, and let's get you your starting lineups today. First for the visiting team, that's the Royals wearing their Royal uniforms. Kellen Jackson leads things off and will play second base. Bird bats second and will play right. Kevin Jackson has shortstop. Johnson in center field bats fourth. Quincy Jones will catch. Quincy Jones will play left. Sanchez plays first. Smith bats eighth and will play third. The DH is Evans and will route things out. And they will face right-handed pitcher Connor Sitter. And he's got a guy with the exact same last name, Brennan Sitter, catching him. It'll be Kellen Jackson to lead things off here for the Royals. And we're all but set to go.
Leading off for the Royals, the second baseman, number 2, Kellen Jackson.
Jackson wearing number 2 and will play second base. Jeremy Peddle, the home plate umpire, says play a ball, and we are underway, and the first pitch is called for a strike.
I'd like to see what the home plate umpire's zone is in this one, because the past few have been more painting, but it seems to be some similar on these pitches here.
Nothing in too quickly. Here's Sitter's 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good start for Sitter. 3-pitch strikeout, and there's one away.
Next up for the Royals, the right fielder, number 13, Alonso.
Good start there, Austin, for Sitter.
I mean, if Connor Sitter is going to keep throwing like he has here, he's throwing hard right out the gate. I'd expect it to be more of the same for the remainder of this one.
This is just out of play to the left side, and it bounces out of the stadium. What are you setting off for there?
I thought there was a shot that it would hit the fence and stay in, so the players wouldn't have to go run and get it.
That's a tough look there. They're gonna have to go run out.
Yeah, you can see they're not too happy about that one.
You're a kind soul, Austin Kroom.
I do my best.
0-1. That's a ball.
So seems that the pitcher and catcher brother battery here.
Potentially, maybe cousins. We don't have official confirmation.
Home plate ump took that one off the shoulder. Looks like he's all right on there, but you got to see it. Wasn't too hard a contact, but
1-2.
see if we can get back-to-back strikeouts on this one.
The windup, the righty sets and fires. A ground ball that's hit right to the first baseman, Smith. He will take it to the bag himself, and that's the second out of the inning. And I bring up Kevin Jackson here with 2 away.
Well, so far, the Reds have had a better start than the Twins have had in this one, being the home team. So at least we know it's not a
home team curse, because the Cubs RBI,
curse, yep.
The home teams, at least in the 18U baseball division, have lost all the games that we have broadcasted for you. First pitch popped up. Missed us. Austin and I were both ready for that one.
I'm waiting for it to fall down. And
The roof is slanted down, so it's going to fall behind us.
oh, man.
Well, also, there's an overhang as well.
That is true, but you can
It's got to come straight back towards us.
Off-speed one with some backspin, it could definitely make its way back here.
That one missed, and the count's 1-1. Yeah, talking about effectiveness from the visiting teams thus far on the top of the first. I'll hold off as here's the 1-1. That one's down and away, 2-1. Today's first matchup between Guardians and Twins. The Guardians RBI squad put up 6 runs on 4 hits in the first and sent 11 batters to the plate. 2-1. In the dirt, it's 3-1 now.
Noticing that the Royals RBI here are almost as loud, if not louder, than Guardians RBI when they started their games. So maybe the teams with a higher energy, maybe they play at a bit higher level.
And that was a theme last night we saw. We saw the White Sox ace team very quiet, calm, and composed, and Cubs RBI, and the energy we thought would be a theme considering how packed the ballpark was yesterday. Today so far, even though it's not a packed house, energy has still been brought by all the teams that have been playing.
Well, you can't rally off the fans' energy if it's not as filled as, just say opening day or championship game.
That's a strike.
The teams are going to have to build their own confidence and their own energy, which is what we've seen from the two away teams so far in this one. So I would expect nothing but the same, seeing the Royals are going out with energy.
Chopped foul. So no balls and 2 strikes here with 2 away. Johnson, the center fielder. With the runner goes, it's a perfectly executed hit and run. It's deposited to right field. Going first to third is Jackson, and he dives in safely. And now the Royals have first and third with 2 away, and a good 2-out rally here forming by Kansas City.
That's exactly what you want to do, especially here in the first. So far, every team that's jumped ahead in the first half of their game, they've won the contest. So is that a common thread here? If they get ahead early, they retain that lead, or are we going to potentially see the Reds here break that if the Royals are able to get one across?
There's still 2 away, and it'll be difficult as Quincy Jones steps up. He'll catch today.
Next up for the Royals, the catcher, number 10, Quincy Jones.
No score.
Seems that there's a potential for both teams to have either siblings or cousins playing for both Cincinnati and the Royals.
It'd be funny if we're just naturally assuming they're siblings and they just happen to have the same name by coincidence, but also both start with the same letter as well.
I think that'd be cool, but
That would be sick. That'd be awesome.
It would be. You normally don't see that as often. Normally, if they're, I think of the Rogers brothers in the MLB.
Taylor
and
Tyler,
Tyler?
yeah.
They look similar in names as well, but maybe here.
And now we got some confusion here. The Royals players were calling for a balk. No balk called by their umpire. So 1-0. And now we have the Royals dugout making chicken sounds. 1-0. Grounded back off of Sitter. It deflects right to the second baseman, Walters, who's able to make the play. So Reds RBI becomes the first team to throw up a 0 on the defensive side of things in the first inning. After the top of the first, no score here on the Windy City Sports Network. Welcome back. Gavin Malater here with Austin Groom. No score as we enter the home half of the first in Austin. Good start there for Reds RBI and a good start there for Connor Sitter.
I mean, that's all you can ask for. The last few games we've seen, all we have been seeing is nothing but a run scored and then it's just dominant. So having that to get 3 down real easy is exactly what you want. Now you want the Reds here, since they're the home team, they have last licks if need be. If they can put up a number here, it could definitely help with them if Sitter is doing that well on the mound.
Bottom of the first, it'll be Burke, Mendy, and Sean Dula. Ball by Smith. Sitter, not the pitcher Sitter, the other Sitter, Brendan Sitter. Walters, Bradley, Sanchez, the DH, and the number 9 hitter is the right fielder, Daniels. As we get set to go, Avion Wallace out of the windup, his first pitch. They squared a bunt and it's foul. I don't think we've seen a single perfectly executed bunt thus far.
At least today, no. I don't think we saw any last night as well.
No, I don't remember. I don't recall one, so yeah.
So as of this moment, every bunt attempt that's happened has gone foul.
You're exactly right. The 0-1. Skip through the wickets, and it's 1-1 now.
Be really interesting to see how both these teams bounce back. Kind of opposite seasons.
Wallace has a bit of a stutter step wind up, as it may seem.
Exactly right. 1-1. Sharply hit right side. Oh, a dive there by Sanchez. He's able to make the play. A sharply hit ground ball, but right to the first baseman of KC, and it's out number 1.
Great play there by Sanchez, able to slide and make sure that one stays fair so he can get the out. Good play by him.
Joe Mendy now steps up.
And sometimes it's taking what the pitcher is giving you.
He's playing left field
Won't
today.
always get the perfect pitch.
First pitch to him. He swings and fouls that ball off. High crowd on hand here as the sun's beaming down on the field turf here at Curtis Granderson Stadium. No score between the Royals and the Reds. The 0-1. Fouled off to the right side again. Mendy just keeps me late on every pitch. And it's 0-2 quickly. No balls, 2 strikes.
Versus in time, a 6-4-3
Wallace delivers. It's a reach chopper right back to Wallace. He will glove and throw. And it's plenty of time for out number 2.
Yeah, both teams seem pretty comfortable so far in this one. You've seen a couple teams, especially the Twins RBI, went up there on the mound and they seemed a bit more concerned and a little bit shaky even. Had to get a mound visit early on in there, but both teams so far seem settled in. Is that maybe due because it's later in the day, they be more awake, maybe practice a bit more, not too sure.
First pitch taken for a strike, and it's 0-1.
On base, but the runners in scoring position, they haven't done a great job of. And they're not super aggressive on the bases, which is not
that one misses
Joe
down
Silva's
low,
philosophy,
1-1.
particularly. And on the opposite end, when you're giving up a ton of runs, you always have to fight your way back, and it takes a lot of energy out of a team to play from
Pitchers duel
behind.
of the tournament. We might be. That one's lined right to Sanchez's mitt. He made 2 fine plays in that inning. And that'll end the first. 3-1, no score between the Reds and the Royals. This is the 2022 MLB RBI Central Regional Tournament on the Windy City Sports Network. Quincy Jones leads things off here in the top of the second. First pitch was missed for a ball. Both teams were blanked in the first. Connor Sitter fires and it's fouled off. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Jones playing left field. Follows up Quincy Jones in the batting order. 1-1. Grounded foul. It's 1-2. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Royals in their half. Sitter out of the windup. Flare to right. Away foul.
That right side berm over there that you had talked about last game. If only there was people sitting there that might get a souvenir, but one of the players actually picked it up.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, if you know you're not playing, why not go catch the game on the berm?
Exactly.
1-2. Grounded back up the middle. Tough play for Deshaun, and he got him at first. That was not an easy play, Austin, whatsoever. Big first out for the Reds.
Yeah, definitely not. Gashan was able to get to that one real quick. Cool, calm, collective, picks it up and fires it across the diamond to get him by about a half step.
Next batter,
Exactly
first
right.
baseman number 24, Elijah Sanchez.
Sanchez
He
now
has a total of 7 through
one away here in the
rather
top of the
6
second inning.
appearances and is really pitching more to contact.
Breaking ball skipped in.
Sanchez has made 2 web gems so far in this one, the sliding grab at first and that final out. There was a liner right over his head. He's good on one side of the ball. Let's see if he's good on both.
Said he's mostly a fastball.
Breaking ball in first strike, and it's 1-1. It's tough to find. This is a general statement, not just in the RBI perspective. I'll hold off. Here's the 1-1. Skipped in. It's tough to find first basemen who are so solid with the mitt and also solid with the bat. So having a guy like Sanchez, we'll see if he's able to hit here. Obviously, his first at bat of the tournament, but having that guy can be huge. And one on the turf, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike now for the Royals first baseman.
I mean, we had talked about Terrence Gore last game. How he was, the former Royal. How he was a base runner. That's what he was through and through. I mean, what did he say? 15 career hits?
Sharply and past the dive of Bradley in the left field. And it'll be a single here with 1 away for Elijah Sanchez. So he shows off the beam of the glove and the beam of the bat thus far here in the early stages of this contest.
Exactly what you want out of your corner infield. May not be the fastest guy, but he's going to give you that power bat you need and a pretty good defensive glove, almost like a Anthony Rizzo type of player. He's a lockdown on the corner, and he can come up clutch when needed with the bat.
Smith steps up, takes the strike. Marcus Smith. That's Marcus with K. The 0-1. Strike 2. Nice ball outside corner.
Umpires are loving that outside corner. 3 games, 3 of the same calls, and most of them. Players are going to have to adjust to that quick.
Yep, that's Jeremy Peddle back there calling balls and strikes. And he takes that one down. Smith does make it a 1-2 count, but
Generals use a lot of pitching.
Royals here have a base runner.
Very interesting to
Only
see.
3 men have reached base, and they've all belonged to Kansas
Really
City.
depending on how far short it
Ran it
goes.
back to Sitter. He goes to second for 1. The throw to first is in time to get him. A 1-6-3 double play ends the frame. And Connor Sitter is back off the mound and gets around the 1-out single.
For the Royals,
3 and a half. No score. The Royals and the Reds.
first baseman, number 7.
Gavin Smith to lead things off for Reds RBI. He squares the bunt and bunts it foul. So, once again, another failed bunt here, Austin.
When does it become a matter of time when they stop bunting? Like, how many attempts do you think it'll take? Like, that's a realistic question. You go 3 attempts, 3 different batters, and if it fails all 3 times, do you just kind of cut it, or do you use it sparingly at that point?
No, that's a great question. 0-1. Got a 52-footer to make the count 1-1.
I mean, we did see an attempted suicide squeeze last game, even with being on a 6-run pad when the Guardians were facing the Twins, but I don't know. You never know. You got to see how a close game like this, especially a pitcher's duel, will go.
1-2 now. Now the windup comes Wallace. Upstairs, he left it, and it's 2-2. Smith, Sitter, and Walters due up for Cincinnati. Now the windup, here comes the righty. That one inside, did not get him, but the count goes full.
Yeah, that was a pretty close one there. I'm honestly kind of surprised how Smith was able to get out of the way of that one.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes. No one out. Walter in the hole as this ball is hitting a right, but right, it's a Bird who's able to make the grab for out number 1.
Good piece of hitting there, just right to the right fielder, and not much you can do about that one. Just keep seeing the ball that well, and eventually something will come to you.
And so far, it's 4 up, 4 down for Avion Wallace.
Now batting the catcher, number 6, Brennan Sitter.
Brennan Sitter now up, the catcher. Bats from the right side against the tall, lanky right-hander. And the pitch is skipped in for ball 1.
I think it's pretty safe to say that the Sitter boys are both brothers and their batter.
1-0 in the dirt.
Looking at them from up here, they look pretty similar, so my guess is they're twins, but you never be too sure.
Never too sure, but that's a good shout, though. I see it a lot, too. 2-0. 2-1 now. Three balls and 1 strike. You're seeing every team from the American League Central, at least the games that Austin and I done, the team that's been playing from the American League Central is 2-0.
That is a true statement. So
Or 2-1. As that one backs up and hits Sitter, it was going to be ball 4 either way. So goes down as a hit by pitch in the scorebook, but it's an important first base runner for Cincinnati. It's the first time they've had a man reach, and they'll insert the courtesy runner.
Number 2, Robert Waters. Courtesy runner for the Reds at first base, number 15, Mel M.J. Green.
Mel Green Jr., a.k.a. MJ, will be the courtesy runner for Cincinnati. That one misses down, though, for the catcher. We had that fun debate about the courtesy runner earlier. Austin, I asked you in between games, find any evidence there that supports your case about why there should be courtesy runners?
honestly didn't really have the time to find it. Had to get some
Yes.
stuff done.
The old excuse. Didn't have enough
I
time.
wouldn't call it an excuse.
Yeah, my mom tells me that all the time.
See, well, Miss Melita's a great woman. But in this case, if I didn't have time, I didn't have time. I am not lying.
No, this is a double standard.
No. Don't double stand.
This is a double standard,
No.
yes.
No. We're not here for life lessons. We're here for baseball.
Runner goes from the 1-1. This is another perfectly executed hit and run. First and third is Green. The throw-in from right field is offline. Now headed up for second is Walters. He is going to be out at second base. Single and then the put out there. So it'll be first and it'll be now just the runner on third with two away.
Good attempt to go there on that one, throw third, maybe catch him sleeping, and then if a bad throw to the second baseman,
Stepping up to the plate,
you can
third
score
baseman,
home
number
for Green
25,
Jr. with his speed, but
Bradley.
good on the Royals for being able to realize that and get the runner trying to head for two.
It's a 9-4-3 putout, and the first pitch is a strike.
Counts as a single nonetheless. Does help.
Exactly. It's a perfect executed hit and run. That one skipped away.
Good block there by Quincy Jones to make sure the ball doesn't get past him, especially with a speedy guy on third. We've seen just in the past game or so, we've seen a bunch of runs score on pass balls and wild pitches. So seeing some better defense behind the plate there is definitely a good sight.
Back up the middle, but right to Wallace, and the inning comes to a close. Reds get their first couple of base runners, but nothing comes of it. 4 for 2, no score. Here on the Windy City Sports Network. Welcome you back. Top of the third, between the Reds and the Royals. And Evans, the DH, pops it up in foul ground, and the catch is made by Smith at first, and it's out number 1.
Good for Sitter to be able to get the DH Evans out on one pitch there. It's a quick one that you didn't really even have to try for. He just kind of threw the first one over the plate, hoping it would get it, and goes for an out.
Exactly right. So now
Up next for
I'll
Casey,
bring up
right field,
Evans.
Number 3, Kellen Jackson.
Swing and a miss. That's Jackson, the new batter. Now the windup will come Sitter. He shakes a few off before making his approach. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. And it's nothing in 2.
The second baseman for the Royals, number 2, Kellen Jackson.
He did strike out last time on his last at bat swinging. He's already down 0-2 in the count. Let's see what happens. Time to attack.
He lines it to left and it falls for a base knock. So Kellen Jackson's aboard. That'll bring up Alonzo Bird. Grounded out to first, his only trip to the plate thus far.
Now batting for KC,
4
the
hits
right
so far
fielder,
for Kansas
number
City, but
13,
no
Alonzo
runs to
Bird.
show of it. Definitely a different sign than what we've been used to for the past few games so far.
Bird takes that one down and away. Runner goes as the bunt is popped up and foul. Another one.
Like I said, this number 3. I like the rule of 3 on this one, where if you do try it 3 times in a situation like this, not crucial, you kind of scrap it until absolutely necessary. So let's kind of see how they adjust here. We may see it again, we may not. It just depends on the coaching.
You're definitely right. It's a fair point. 1-1. Pulls back the bunt, was getting ready to square again. And
Coach Mel Thompson may have something that we're not too aware of down there. Same thing with assistant Chris Evans for the Royals. Also the first base coach is Evans.
And this is an interesting strategy here because showing bunt multiple times in a bat after already popping it up foul once is a clear indicator that you believe it's going to be a tough time scoring runs.
That is true, or maybe they're just getting under pitches. I mean, it could be either, but I do think the idea of being difficult to score, I mean, like I just said, the Royals have already had 4 hits, and nothing's come of them so far.
That's a walk right there, and it's first and second. So after the leadoff pop out, it's gone single and base on balls. And now the sitters will get together and chat on the mound.
Wouldn't be too worried about it at the moment if I were Connor Sitter. It's early on in this one. He's thrown 2 great innings so far. Just keep throwing what he's got. His stuff moves well, and he's got a good heater. It's gotten a couple guys confused already so far in this one.
KC's next hitter, the shortstop, number 1.
So now here's Kevin Jackson. Takes that one upstairs, showing bunt again. And if you're a pitcher, though, my always question is, though, when you see them showing bunt, why don't you throw it right down the middle? Why aren't you throwing it right down the middle? That's my question for you, Austin. Why wouldn't you in that scenario? Shows bunt. He lays it down the throw to first by Sitters in time to get him. So it's a sacrifice there that advances both Bird and Jackson. That's the second out of the inning.
Good play there to get the runners going. Like, the only thing is, though, now it's 2 outs, so if you can't have a sac fly in this one, which, I mean, you take what you can, but as you were just saying, why not do a fastball in the middle? He saw it the first time off speed over his head. He threw it dead red, see what he could sit. And, I mean, it's a smart idea because the worst thing is if he pulls back, it's a strike regardless.
They're going to walk him to load the bases. Here comes Quincy Jones with 2 away.
First time we've seen that so far in this one. Didn't even get his feet into the batter's box and just started jogging on down.
Exactly. They put up the signal immediately saying, nope, we want that force out, which is once again really interesting considering there's 2 outs.
Next up for the Royals,
Tony
the
La
catcher,
Russa situation.
number 10, Quincy Jones.
Let's see if it works out for him. It has a couple times. It has not as well. So
Breaking ball in for a strike. It's bold strategy, Cotton.
let's see if it pays off for him.
There we go. Attaboy. Attaboy, Kroom.
Love that.
0-1. In on the hands, evens out the count.
Yeah, for Sitter and the Reds, this is a high-risk, high-reward situation here. If he's able to get it for the potentially weaker hitter here in Quincy Jones, it would work out. But if not, now you give up 2 instead of 1.
And that's the first run of the game. The intentional walk comes back to bite Cincinnati. It's a hit by pitch that had the walk not happened, it would have loaded the bases. Instead, it brings in the first run of the game for Kansas City.
Now batting the left fielder, number 23, Quincy Jones.
So, still a little bases loaded. 1-0 game. Breaking ball inside for a ball.
There have been some crucial hit by pitches and some clutch situations in these for a couple teams so far. Like, I know White Sox ace had scored their first run after a hit by pitch, and I know the Guardians had done that after Snyder, their DH, had gotten hit as well. So maybe that's kind of an unlooked at thing here so far and allowing runners to get across.
This one's hit in the air to right. Playable for Daniels. And the inning will come to a close. Royals strike first. It's 1-0 KC as we go bottom 3. Back in a moment here on the Windy City Sports Network.
For Kansas
Welcome back. Captain Malater, Austin Kroom, bottom three. Royals RBI strike first to lead it 1-0. They only get the one and they leave them loaded. As we the 8, 9, and top of the order guys for Reds RBI. It's Luis Sanchez to lead it off. 1-0. 2-0 now.
So far, Wallace has only thrown 28 pitches, and he's gotten to the bottom of the third here. Done pretty well. Haven't allowed really anybody on base for the Reds except for a hit or so in the second. So he's done pretty well for himself so far.
That one misses upstairs. 3-0 now. Wallace out of the windup delivers. That's down the middle for a strike. So Sanchez, Daniels, and then Barnes due up. 3-1. Chopper right to Kellen Jackson at short. That's the first out of the inning.
Good play there by Kellen Jackson. Charged in again and able to get another good play. Throw it right across the diamond, a couple steps before the runner. Seen him do it twice today. I mean, it seems like he's got a pretty good glove over there at short.
That means play for Cincinnati, right fielder
So
number
no,
3.
Daniels will step up here with one away. He pulls back the bunt as that pitch misses outside.
So the one bunt attempt, would you call it successful at this point, or would you just call it a good enough sacrifice?
No, it was successful. He did his job.
That's the first successful bunt attempt in probably around 8 or 9.
He got the bunt down. I mean, even if it was unsuccessful, it was an unsuccessful one. As long as he got it down, and he did his job.
It was seen as unsuccessful in the fact that it got an out, but it was successful in the fact that it got down and got the runners to move forward.
Yeah, that makes it successful though. 'Cause that's the point
Yeah.
of the bunt. The point of the bunt is to give up an out so you can take those runners.
Unless you're fast enough, clearly. But in that situation there, he was doing whatever he could to make sure that the lead runners at third and second were not going to get out, and he'll take it at first.
That's true. Okay, so 2 balls, 2 strikes. The debates keep continuing here. Pitch to Daniels, and he cuts and misses for strike 3. Upstairs cheese for the first strikeout of the game for Avion Wallace. So top of the order here, and it's
Now
Barnes
getting
once
the
again.
outfielder, the center fielder, number 17, Harrison Barnes.
First pitch misses upstairs. Barnes grounded out to first on that diving play made by Sanchez there.
That web gem over there at Sanchez.
1-1 now. Wallace peppering the zone with strikes. He came into this inning with 26 pitches. Yes, thrown very few. The 1-1. Left side, out of play.
Yeah, this game has been moving on quite a bit. I mean, it's already in the second half of the third here, and only about 4 more innings to go, and it's still a super, super close game between both these clubs.
It's nice to not have a blowout for once. I mean, U of I have done 2 blowouts already.
It changes the tempo.
Yeah,
It allows you to really deep dive and kind of pick at what's happening instead of a game like where it's 16-0 and we're talking about virtual video game cards.
And Terrence Gore.
Terrence Gore, yeah.
This is to the opposite field. Quincy Jones goes towards the line and makes the grab to end the inning. Through 3, Royals RBI lead at 1-0. Stay with us as we head to the middle half of this game. This is the 2022 MLB RBI Central Regional Tournament on the Windy City Sports Network. Top 4 underway, and Elijah Sanchez takes a strike. He signaled his last time up. Royals so far, 1 run on 3 hits. Reds, no runs on 1 hit. So far, no errors for either side. And it's quickly 0-2 to Elijah Sanchez.
Joe Mindy over there in left field for the Reds is practicing his best impression of Sanchez's swing at the moment in between pitches.
0-2. Got him, looking good over the top bender there from Sitter. It's his first strikeout since all the way back in the top of the first, and it's out number 1 here in the 4th.
Yes, Sitter came into this one with 47 pitches on the inning, so double what Wallace had come in the same half of his inning, so we may not be seeing Sitter for much longer.
So Walters, who's on the charge, 2 out. So now here's Evans, the DH. Popped out to first, his only trip. Thank you for joining us here. Kevin Belater, Austin Kroom with you.
DH number 3, Isaiah.
Game 2 of 4 for us here at the 18U baseball site at Curtis Granderson Stadium today. That one skips in. Softball right now just about to get on their way on their second game of the day. Swing and a miss, strike 1. One. Lined off the mitt. Got shot on the dive. It's a single there for Evans. That ball was absolutely roped, but right to the left side. Gashan there at short.
Casey's next hitter, second baseman number 2, Kellen Jackson.
So now top of the order once again, it's Kellen Jackson who scored the only run of this contest. And he takes a ball. Right now, just underway, top of the first. Over at DePaul University. Tigers RBI softball team against the Guardians RBI softball team. No score. Tigers the home team in that contest. We'll check on the runner. Safe there is Evans.
DePaul's softball field is absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
If you're able to go check that one out on the Windy City Sports Network, our first channel, you can see that if you have some time out there.
Back pick to first and diving in safely is Evans. Ball squirted away from Smith the last second, but it's not far enough for Evans to try to take second.
You got it, son!
2 balls, no strikes. Breaking ball in for a strike. 1-0 Royals. Reds trying to get out of the frame and try to get back to the sticks. The runner goes. Pitch misses down and away, and Evans takes second base.
It's the first stolen base of this contest. Definitely a different game plan here from the Royals compared to some of the other teams we've seen so far in this one.
You're definitely right, and I think it also has to do with the fact that there hasn't been a whole lot of opportunities for base runners. That one's taken for a strike, and it's 3-2.
Sitter fell off the mound a bit odd on that one, like he may have either overexerted himself or maybe just tipped a bit too far forward.
3-2. Got him swinging. Good breaking ball there from Sitter. And it ends the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 1-0. Royals trying to runner.
1 hit, 1 man left on base.
Bottom 4, Reds back to bat, and they got the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up. It's Mendy to lead things off.
Left fielder number 1, Joe Mendy.
Impersonated some swings and misses in the outfield. Let's see if he will do the opposite here. He takes the ball down low.
Yeah, Reds have only had 1 hit in this contest so far. Maybe look to start off their offense in this top of the inning. Excuse me.
1-0, 2-0 now.
Good start so far. He's in a hitter's count. He's able to dictate what the next pitch is thrown. He's got most of the power in this battle right now.
Cuts and misses there at a get me over strike from Wallace. Wallace has done a good job despite having a low pitch count, and he really hasn't had to fight out of too many holes today. He's been pretty effective. And it's 2-2 now.
I think it may be a mixture of because his fastball's coming in at a pretty decent speed, and his windup is a bit wonky at a point where he's somewhat, it looks like his arm motion slows down and then speeds right up. So maybe confusing hitters.
Right side, it gets past the dive of Jackson for a base knock. So it's a leadoff single, just the second hit of the day for the Reds. And it's their first hit since the second inning.
No better time to pick it up than now.
Now
You're definitely right.
The shortstop, number 11, Parker Deshaun.
Deshaun steps back up, lined out to first to end the first. He swings away and chops this to Smith. He goes to second out there, out at first, but it's all negated as Jeremy Peddle, the home plate umpire, calls a foul ball. Smooth turn, though.
It was a smooth turn, yeah. That 5-4-3 would have looked great, but just gone foul. Home plate umpire saw something that some of the parents were a bit confused on, but everyone's got their own opinion on what the call can be.
Wallace steps off. Deshaun's had a busy day so far on short. He almost made that diving grab in the top half. Takes a strike, and it's 0-2.
Is that the first step off we've seen as well? I know it's like small little nitpicky stuff, but that may be the first step off we've seen. And there's been like a combined 26, 27 stolen bases in 2 games.
Well, we got our first back pick in the early half. The runner goes, pitch in the dirt. The throw down from second is offline. Awkward slide there by Mendy, but he's in safely either way.
And that's the first stolen base of this one for the Reds. That's only 2 combined by the teams through 3 innings so far. So the Guardians had almost tripled that by the time they were in this part of the game.
Inside, just misses, and it's 2-2.
Keeping Deshaun honest. Some of the parents may have thought that he went around on that one. A bit tough to see.
Weak chopper, and it's foul.
Do you think in a tournament like this, where you can definitely hear some of the family members and those around, do you think the court of public opinion has any effect on what the umpire calls?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. Back up the middle. Wallace will take a look at the runner, but he'll go to first to get the out there. Holding at second will be Mendy.
So you don't think any impact whatsoever?
No, I do not. Not at all. Not a one.
Well,
Nothing. Zip. Not a.
0.
0.
Is there any situation where it does?
Absolutely not.
You think umpires go based on exactly what they see and don't peer pressure themselves into certain calls?
Unless they're playing a team that runs a league. This ball's to the backstop. It'll be a wild pitch, and so now the Reds got a man on third base. Unless they're playing in a league in which the owner of the league also owns a team, and you're in that ballpark, and the owner pays your paychechs.
Okay, but then that's...
It's a very specific scenario.
Yeah, but then that's bribery.
It's not bribery.
Well, you feel
You're not paying extra money for them to get the calls. It's just
you feel inclined.
Exactly. It's the inclination. It's not a bribery because there's no actual bribery done. It's the inclination.
That is true, but there's no situation that a board of directors would even allow that. Like, you can't be an owner of a team and an owner of a league.
Some may disagree with you on that.
Please give an example. I'm actually I can't think of one.
That's a great question. I'll try to find some leagues about that. It's a very specific scenario, and it's only really, it's like, that just feels to me like you'll see like a movie, like that type of scenario.
Yeah,
but it's also, it can happen in real life too.
Yeah, but you also don't think of like pro or major teams. Like, you're not going to see an NFL, like Roger Goodell is not going to own a team. Like, you know what I mean?
He can though, if they force to sell the team, then the league owns the team until they find a new owner.
He can, but he would basically be a lame duck owner at that point.
I mean, half the owners in the NFL are lame ducks owners.
That is a fair point. I'll give you that one.
2-0. Cuts and misses to that one with Smith. Smith flew out to right his last time up. It's not a bad point though.
It's just an interesting point because you don't think about it much. It really is like a movie situation.
3-1. It can happen in real life.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong about it. Like,
There have to be leagues out there that has to be a scenario.
yeah, definitely. We got to find them.
We gotta find him. Yep.
Bring them to the light. Let people know.
Bring him to justice.
Exactly.
Smith fouls that one off to make the count full. Still 1-0 here in the bottom of the fourth, only one away. Reds knocking on the door, trying to tie this one up. Three balls, one strike. Wallace, the right-hander, comes sets and comes home. Flared, but foul.
Good idea trying to poke that one over the first baseman, but Sanchez done pretty well over there with his glove throughout the first few innings, so I don't know if I would even test that.
Still 3-2. The infielder's playing slightly in. Smith awaits the offering. That one hits him in the head. So it's ball four either way, but Smith's aboard. And once again, the Reds have runner in the corners here. And only one out, so a golden opportunity for the team from Cincinnati to get one back, potentially get a couple more.
Yeah, there's definitely a high potential for that. You definitely have to look out for the double play situation as well. Might see Wallace here try to throw some off speeds in the dirt, or a heaters up and that they just get under them or slap them around in the infield. But just glad to see that Smith's okay after getting plunked in the head. You know, you hear the old saying, "Rub some dirt on it," but just gotta make sure he's okay after a type of hit ball like that.
Runner goes, the pitch gets by the glove of Jones, so it's a stolen base. Now it's second and third, and that's big because it eliminates double play.
Great idea by the Reds and Smith, especially to execute that. Great throw. If that happened, it would have been a bit closer, but it's a what-if situation now.
1-0. Popped up and out of play. You were ready that time.
Oh, I mean,
You were ready that time.
I've had a couple calls where a foul ball has come back to me and I kind of destroyed my finger for a week or so, but it's worth it. You got to do everything you can. You got to make the plays.
You haven't the place. We're out of baseballs right now as well, which is why there's the brief pause in action.
Been a decent amount of foul balls in this one, which does make sense. A couple that have
Makes sense for sure.
gone out of the stadium or over the roof.
We need one. We just got to get one at some point this weekend.
There's going to be a shot, whether it's you with Ryan's core tomorrow, who's doing softball today with Tia Reed, or whether it's championship game, we'll find out.
He squares and fouls that one off. We're bound to get one. We got to get one.
I feel like it's a
I feel like if we
rite
don't,
of passage.
yeah, exactly, rite of passage. I feel like if we don't, then we're just kind of failing.
Oh, I mean, we're not failing, but personal failure maybe?
Yeah,
Or personal disappointment. I wouldn't call it a failure.
disappointment. Yeah,
There you go.
that's the best word. 1-1. And there it skips by Jones. Here comes Mendy, and we are tied. And now Jones throws it away. Here comes Smith from third. Out at third. So second time we've seen someone from the Reds run into down on the base paths, but I guess it's just a moot point because it's a 1-1 game.
Yeah, I mean, I get what Smith was trying to do there was was a bad throw there. But with the third baseman covering right behind, it was great play by him over there. Get to see what he can do.
Full count now with 2 away.
You got it, Daddy.
Nonetheless, game's tied, and it's basically a 0-0 game again.
Exactly. We got a pitcher stool here. This is fun. This has been a fun one today. Mm-hmm. After the 16-0 game we had this morning, this has been fun.
Oh, goodness, yeah.
That's a walk there for Sitter.
Might want to expect a potential runner here, which will be Green Jr. again, just like he had in Sitter's first at
Pinch
bat.
runner for Sitter, number 15, MJ Green.
It's MJ Green for the second time, as Austin just mentioned. Walters now steps up with 2 away.
He's there, Terrence Gore.
Batting for Cincinnati, second baseman, number 2, Robert Waters.
Well, we'll never know. I mean, he could come in and play later, and he could actually hit, unlike Gore,
That is a fair point, but
who had 15 career hits over 7 years in the big leagues. Which, granted, I don't think I could get one, as Green's off for second. He's safe there. I mean, I don't think I could get one hit off a major league pitcher, but still, 7 years, only 15 hits.
you're bound. I mean, he played collegiately, correct?
I'm gonna assume he did. I'm not 100% sure.
So, I mean, I wonder what happened.
There's a strike in zone 2.
You really have to be good at stealing bases if you can get all the way through collegiate ball and the minors and not be able to hit.
Yes,
There's quite a bit of stages you got to go through there.
you're exactly right. 0-2. Ground ball right to Jackson. He will field and throw, and he gets him to end the inning. Reds tied up. We're through 4. Stay with us. We got a fun one here at Curtis Granderson. Bird is the word as the top of the 5th begins. It's Alonzo Bird. It takes a breaking ball for a 1-0 count. 0 for 1 ground out to first, and a base on balls his last trip to the plate. Lefty bat against the right-hander Sitter, who now has a smaller pitch count than his opposition Wallace. It's 2-0 now as Bird takes those for high and away.
Yes, Sitter is now sitting at 62, while Wallace is now sitting at 67. You can see that the change has clearly helped Sitter, and the offense might have actually helped as well. Give him time to rest.
Exactly right. That one misses up. So 3-0, and now base runners are becoming a premium here as we enter the later half of this game. Inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, getting the leadoff guy out is going to be a must, especially now with it being a tied game heading into the back third here. you're going to need to do everything you can to get the first guy out.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. It's 3-2. Jackson and Johnson to follow in this inning. Righty fires. Popped foul.
It's definitely been a pitcher's duel in this one so far. Only about 6 to 7 combined hits for both clubs here, so pitchers are doing extremely well. Haven't seen that so far.
4-2 Royals lead in the hit category, so 6 total. 3-2 again. Popped up in the air to left center. Barnes to his right. And that's the first out of the inning.
He was extremely nonchalant about that in center field. Barnes' hat came off, and he just kind of didn't really care. He still had it regardless. Got the cool shades on. Almost looked like a Yasiel Puig catch, where he kind of waits till the last moment and just flips his glove up.
I think that gave everyone a heart attack whenever he played in the major leagues, as Kellen Jackson cuts and misses of that one.
Puig did that for the Reds a couple times.
He did. And it's funny because here we go in center field, the red center fielder. This is to left, backing up is Mendy. Leaps and makes the grab for out number 2. So here's Johnson with 2 away. Royals just looking for something here in the 5th inning after succeeding the lead in the last half inning.
Johnson was intentionally walked last time, so this is only his 2nd time to actually be in the batter's box.
Jeffrey
It's
Johnson.
1 for 1 with that intentional base on balls, and they're going to walk him again. High stepping his way down the line. And so that'll bring up Quincy Jones with 2 away in the run on first.
And now he was only in the box for 1 pitch. It hit him dead in the shoulder. So they've been trying to keep him as quiet as he possibly can be, even with him getting on twice.
Exactly. Single, intentional base on balls, intentional base on balls is his line in the scorecard thus far. And that'll bring up Quincy Jones, who's 0 for 1 for ground out and an RBI hit by pitch. That brought in the only run of the game for the Royals thus far.
Quinton Jones.
Runner goes on the first pitch. It's upstairs. Throw down to second is in time to get him. What a great throw there by Brennan Sitter. And Jashawn there to cover the bag. We're through 4.5 here at Curtis Granderson. Still 1-all on the Windy City Sports Network. Bottom of the 5th from Chicago, Illinois, and Curtis Granderson Stadium. 7-8-9 due up for Reds RBI All-Stars, and it'll be
Now batting,
Bradley to lead things off.
Third baseman number 25, Seth Bradley.
Grounded out to the pitcher's last trip and takes a strike.
No batting gloves with the aluminum bat is it's an interesting play. I mean, I remember doing, even with batting gloves in cold, it stings.
Pops it up out of play. Just stings a little there?
That one?
No, I'm just saying in general. When you're talking about the batting gloves and the aluminum bat.
Well, if it's cold. If it's cold out.
So you're telling me though that it only stung if you either hit off the end of the bat or in the hands, which means you weren't very good. It means you didn't get good contact off of it.
Oh, I didn't say I didn't.
Well, but that's the implication though, is that when you imply.
I couldn't hit to save my life. I was Terrence Gore. No, I'm serious.
I feel bad because if Terrence Gore's watching this, it's this ball
He's
sent
got more rings.
into the mid of Kellen Jackson at second base for out number 1.
He's got more rings than either of us will ever have, so I think he's sitting pretty.
Still though,
Yeah,
I feel bad for the guy.
he's got more hits than we do, more money than we do.
Luis Sanchez.
Fair.
He made the bigs, man. There's people who can't say that they even made it past high school.
I think you and I are both one of them.
Indeed.
Yep. First offering to Sanchez misses. It's my favorite chant I've ever heard at a college baseball game. There was a handful of gentlemen who had some beverages in them at the time,
Okay.
and they started chanting when this freshman pitcher entered the game. It was like his second appearance ever because they were showing the stats on the Jumbotron. They started chanting, "Peaked in high school. Peaked in high school." So that's me.
How did he finish off his collegiate pitch?
He gave up a 3-run homer to the first batter he faced.
Pretty accurate chant then.
As Sanchez ran to the third. I mean, he faced one batter, and he came in out of the bullpen in the middle of an inning with 2 guys on and no one out, and the first batter he faced was the reigning All-American third baseman.
Ooh.
So you can imagine how that went.
He probably didn't feel too good about that one, especially if it was one of his first collegiate appearances.
Yeah, exactly. Daniels takes that one down.
I mean, no better way to start your career than throwing him right into the fire. You can only go up from there.
I mean, after the home run, he did strike out the next 3 batters. So
See, he went up.
yeah, and
Sometimes you need a.
then the next inning
fold-
he gave up 2 more homers.
All right, never mind. Don't talk about what I'm saying. Sometimes you need to fall down to get up. He fell down, got up, and fell down 40 times further.
Well,
If you
Yeah.
gave up 2 more home runs, if he's pitched 2 full innings, giving up 3 homers, what's that, like 5 RBIs at least? Yeah, that's not good.
that wasn't very good. Yeah,
ERA's at like a 40.
2-0. 3-0 now. I mean, his ERA entering the game was 0 because he had like 3 innings pitched, no runs allowed.
Yeah, he definitely peaked in high school.
Like I said, that was me. Strike called.
You didn't have a 40 ERA in high school.
No, I didn't. But the saying, though, that I peaked in high school is in terms of just my athletic career. As this ball's peaked to right field, and it'll be down for a base hit. So Daniels is aboard. It's a 2-out knock for the number 9 hitter, and here comes the top of the Reds lineup.
Yeah, I mean, he got all that one. And, I mean, great hit.
Now batting for the Reds.
So now here comes Barnes again.
17, Harrison Barnes.
He's 0 for on the day, but looks to change that as Wallace will check on over.
You think he gets the NBA player comparison a decent amount? Harrison Barnes, the forward for the Dallas Mavericks or the Sacramento Kings? I'm not too sure what team he's on at the moment. I think it might be the Kings.
And I think he doesn't get that comparison.
They're both athletic.
It's very true.
I don't know what number Harrison Barnes wears in the NBA, but I honestly think it might be 17.
Daniels is safe at first, by the way. Yeah. I don't know. You can ask him.
Not right now.
That's a strike. Throw down is not in time. Diving in safely is Daniels. Give him a stolen bag. And another runner in scoring position here for the Reds.
Fourth stolen base for the Reds in this one so far. They are moving along a little bit on the base paths here. Royals haven't been as determined per se.
That's hard, but foul down the right field line.
Ready, Elijah, he's coming.
And he turned on that one inside and probably won't want to throw that one again right there if I were Wallace.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
What do you expect? There was a heater, and probably off speed away, maybe even heater away.
Yeah, probably. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he pops it foul to the left of us. Gotta get one.
Yeah.
We gotta get one. They're like right, just to the right of us, just left of us. One was just short of us. We gotta get one. I mean, it's going to take a lot because it has to somehow get over the netting, but not be high enough to where it can hit the overhang of our booth here at UIC.
So they're going to have to get under what? Off speed? No, off speed will die.
It'll have to be a fastball.
Under a fastball,
Has to be under a fastball.
It can have backspin and fall in here.
Meanwhile, that fastball sent to left center field. It's going to get down. It'll split the gap and go all the way to the wall. Daniels will come in to score. Headed for third is Barnes. He'll throw on the brakes there and settle for an RBI triple. 2-1, Cincinnati Reds RBI.
For the Reds.
That's a big run right there as Mendy steps up,
Excuse me, Joe Mendy.
takes the ball.
See if
2-1 Cincinnati.
See if Mindy can drive him in here. Just all he needs is something to poke it. I mean, they already have the lead, but if you can tack on a couple more, these Royals hitters aren't going to go down without a fight.
That one misses away, 2-0. Right dugout now starting to get into it a little bit more as we get on here.
And the Royals dugout is starting to get quiet. It seems that the energy has shifted.
Momentum. 2-0. That's a strike.
Guardians team seems to be watching both of their potential future opponents as they come in and prepare for their next game here.
This is chopped right into the mid of Wallace. Oh, he almost threw it away, but Sanchez is able to grab onto the bag to retire the side. Reds take the lead on an RBI triple
2 hits.
from Harrison Barnes. We're through 5 innings here at Curtis Granderson. Reds RBI leads it 2-1. Top 6, Reds just grabbed the lead for the first time. Calvin and Austin with you for the second of 4 games here on the Winning City Sports Network 2. Got a good one brewing so far. And from a selfish perspective, I think Austin and I are happy that we have a pitcher's duel forming here. This is line into left center, drops in for a base knock. Rounding first, but staying there will be Quincy Jones. That's a strong start there for Royals RBI. They get a base runner for giving up the lead in the last half inning.
Yeah, I mean, selfishly, yes, I do love pitchers' duels, and especially after 2 blowouts in the first 3 games. But I mean, you like blowouts, dude. They're fun. They allow you to see what happens, but I love it when teams go head-to-head for inning after inning after inning because it really shows what team is going to be the better one when it comes down to crunch time.
Quincy Jones takes a fastball for a strike. comes set, and Sitter deals. That's a strike, swing and a miss. They have him leaning, and the back pick is effective. They picked him off. What a great throw there from Brennan Sitter. A better job there by Gavin Smith to get back to the bag to pick off Quincy Jones. That's a big first out there for Reds RBI.
Yeah, good 2-3 out, especially there after that single. Sitter's definitely got to be feeling way better after that one.
0-2 now. Back up the middle. Off the mitt of Jashawn. Doesn't matter. It's a single. That's just going to be a tough play if Jashawn was able to make it. Instead, it'll be a single, and that'll bring up Elijah Sanchez here with a runner on base. And it's funny, there's one out despite having 2 singles to start the inning for Royals RBI.
Yeah, sometimes baseball is a
It
it shall giveth and it shall also taketh away.
Yeah, it really will. You are.
Good heads-up play there by Brennan Sitter.
He pulls the bunt back on that high breaking ball.
Do you go fastball down the middle now on this one? After he showed it, or is the batter going to be potentially sitting on that now?
It's a great question. We'll find out. He throws that fastball. It's a bunt right to Sitter. He will take the out at first. And now all of a sudden, Jones off the bag. They got him there too. Oh my! Jones got cut off the bag. He rounded second way too wide, and it got picked off. The sacrifice bunt was effective, but it cost Kansas City on a base running blunder. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Royals trail 2-1 now. Parker Deshawn to lead things off as we enter the bottom of the 6th. He misses down for a ball. Wallace back out there with a lefty tossing in the Royals bullpen. 1-0. That's off the ankle of Deshawn. And it's 1-1 now.
0-2 for him in this one. You know, he's definitely looking to snap that here, especially in their first game of the tournament. But still a lot of game left.
1-0. 1-2 now. And you got to think here, Reds RBI, the goal is get one more. You're 3 outs away from ending this game right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Do anything you can.
Back up the middle. It deflects off the glove of Wallace. Kevin Jackson's there, and he's able to complete the putout. Score at 1-6-3, and that's out number 1. A 1-6-3 1-out putout, not the 1-6-3 double play.
Yes. Seen a bunch of different random combinations in today.
We had a 9-5-4 putout here in the 2nd inning.
One thing we haven't seen is an outfield assist yet. I know we're bound to see at least one. It just
The direct outfield assist, not
Yes.
one to the cutoff man.
yes.
I follow. Strike taken there by Gavin Smith. He walked his last time up and got thrown out of the plate.
There's bound to be one just based on how some of the guys are reaching to protect the corners of the plate. Something to loop in.
In the air, left center. Long run for Johnson. He's there for out number 2. So 2 quick outs, and that'll bring up Brennan Sitter, who's hit by pitch and walk on the day. So he's 0 for 0 on the contest.
Yeah, this has definitely been a pitcher's duel to say nonetheless. I mean, yeah, you're seeing some offense from both teams, yeah, but the pitching dominance from both teams here has been more dominant.
Right to Elijah Sanchez. He'll take it himself, and that'll retire the side. Reds RBI, 3 outs away from closing the door and winning this ball game. We're through 6, still 2-1. Reds RBI leading. Top 7, and Reds RBI goes to their pen. They'll bring in right-hander Nathan Mertz, class of 2023 product. Comes in for Connor Sitter, who had a phenomenal performance. 6 innings of work, 1 run. It was earned. 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 up by pitches, 0 wild pitches. He is in line for the win if Mertz is able to record these 3 outs. It'll be the new leadoff batter, Smith. It'll be 8, 9, and top for Kansas City in the visitors' half of the 7th inning. Marcus Smith takes inside the first pitch from Nathan Mertz.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at the pitching dominance so far, at least from Sitter. Smith's first at bat was a 1-6-3 double play, and then his second one was a ground out to the second baseman. So, pitching has clearly been the super dominant factor here, even with the spurts of hot offense.
Breaking ball that bends in for a strike. That was a pretty pitch right there from Mertz.
Yeah, Smith seems to back away a little bit, thinking it might have actually been way closer than it actually was, and it just bent right over the plate. Great pitch.
Righty comes out of the lineup and fires. Breaking ball in there for a strike, and it's 1-2.
If I were Mertz, I'd go for it right again. You go 3 in a row. If he's looking fastball.
You don't try to jam him with a fastball so he bends away from it?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's see.
If he's looking at him, you got to try it.
1-2. Oh, look out there.
Tried it, just didn't bend.
That's a key part of that.
See, now I would.
That's a key part of that breaking ball.
Now I'd potentially go the heater. Yeah. It didn't bend the way you wanted it. Clearly no intent of throwing that. It just.
Yeah, why are you throwing a guy up one? Exactly.
Throwing an off speed is not easy, so I'm well aware.
2-2. Got him. Swinging. High heat. That's out number 1 in the 7th. That'll bring up Isaiah Evans here with 1 away. He's 1 for 2 on the day.
Now
Single and a
batting
pop out.
third baseman, number 25. Pardon me. DH number 3, Isaiah Evans.
Isaiah Evans back up,
Isaac, come on.
trying to start a rally. He represents the tying run right now in a 1-run game. Mertz delivers. That's a great breaking piece right there. Strike 1. Got Austin out of his seat there for a second.
You just got to keep going with it. If they're going to keep watching, the pitch it's dirty. So you keep going with it the best you can.
Up and in, 1-1. It's bending most of the time.
So far, like, what? He's thrown it 5 times, and two times it hasn't bent.
Yeah.
So far it's good, but even the heater he brought last at bat to Smith, that went in at a decent rate as well. So his pitch speed differential is pretty good.
1-1. Flared in a right center field. It drops in for a base knock. Evans with a wide turn, but he retreats back to first. That's what you need right there if you're Royals RBI, a base runner. The tying run now stands on first.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there for Evans, able to find the gap. He's sitting over there on first base trying to rally his team, letting his arm go and saying, come on, guys, let's get this going.
Now the top of the order,
Now the top of the order
second
coming up.
baseman, number 2,
All you can expect is Kellen Jackson to be able to try to potentially put him into scoring position.
Jackson has struck out twice, singled once. And that one time he singled, he ended up coming around to score. Runner breaks but stops on that first pitch ball. One ball, no strikes. Jackson squares, pulls it back, 2-0. Pumping the throw back to first base with Sitter. Smith was ready for it just in case. They already ran it once and it worked.
Yeah, they had run it, 3 times so far in this game, worked twice. Has it not? Once?
Once.
Once. It worked once, but they've thrown it 3 times.
Pulls the bunt back, didn't bring it back in time. He showed bunt, I should say. So now it's 2-1. 1 away here, top 7. Reds RBI leading, Royals RBI 2-1 here. Mertz comes set, and we'll check on the runner. Diving in safely there was Evans at first base.
Come on, dugout.
2 balls, 1 strike. Popped up, could be playable for Gavin Smith in foul ground. It is playable, and it is out number 2.
Reds only 1 away from winning this pitching duel. Mertz has done extremely well coming in to close off Connor Sitter's great 6 innings of work. Reds so far, you put them up against a good hitting team like potentially the White Sox ace or the Guardians. I'd like to see what would happen.
You're definitely right. It could be fun. Yes, we have a meeting on the mound here in the top of the 7th with 2 away. Interesting strategy here about the coaching staff to go to that mound meeting despite having 2 outs.
You can always use a good word of encouragement, even if you just need 1 more out. There's never a wrong time to go out there and remind the guys, hey, you
Don't
got
forget,
this.
immediately after
Don't
this
worry about
game,
offense or
3
anything.
p.m.,
You play the game
The
you know.
Guardians will take on KC. And then in the nightcap at 5:30, the Twins play Cincinnati.
Here, the upcoming schedule briefly. Guardians Royals next. Austin and I will have that for you, and then we'll Saturday at 5:30 start with Reds and Twins. The Twins trying to bounce back after a tough first game. Guardians will look to try to continue their hot bats into that second game of the day for them. Missing outside to Alonzo Bird that time was Nathan Mertz. It's 1-0. Bird 0 for 2 with a walk in today's contest. 1-0. There for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Bird's got to be able to protect here, especially with 2 out and 1 down. If he can get anything to the gap, I would expect nothing less but Evans to just absolutely fly and see if he can make it home.
Tipped into the mitt of Sitter, and it's 1-2.
Mertz just needs one more strike. He may want to try to go to the breaking ball here and see if he can get a knee buckle.
Exactly right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Righty fires as the runner goes. Pitch misses outside. Sitter's for down to second base is not in time. Underneath the tag was Evans at second base.
Good on Evans to realize the off speed was coming and get a good jump on that. He had faked a couple times the past few pitches, but since he knew they were heaters, he was able to be more aware of the lead and jump he had.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bird trying to keep this game alive. Base hit may tie the game depending on where it's hit. 2-2 for Mertz. Check swing. Sitter wanted the appeal. He didn't get it. Full count.
See a bigger lead here from Evans, especially with the situation that Bird is in right now.
3-2. Tipped and fouled right off the mask of Sitter.
Way to protect here by Bird. He realizes how important this is. If it's anywhere remotely close, you got to at least flick your bat at it.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bird trying to keep this game alive for Royals RBI. The pitch. Ground ball to the left side. Backhanding it as Jashawn. His throw to first. Not in time. Here comes the run for the plate. He's safe. Now they're saying to tag him. Now we did tag him. The game is over, and the Reds RBI win it. Oh my goodness. Evans avoided the tag originally from Sitter as he dropped the ball originally, but then he missed the plate in doing so. And that'll end the game. Oh my goodness, what a finish.
That is a 6-3-2 tag out at home. It's a great piece of hitting by Bird to get it into the pocket, but also good on the Reds, Sitter and Smith, to have that connection, to realize that he is rounding third headed home. Great on the Reds, and tough one there for Evans and the Royals. Just missed the plate by about a half step.
So your final score in this one, Reds RBI 2, Royals RBI 1. Next matchup starts at 3 o'clock between Royals RBI and Cleveland RBI. We hope you can join us then. For now, from the Windy City Sports Network, for Austin Kroom, I've been Captain Later saying so long from Curtis Granderson Stadium. Your final score, Cincinnati Reds RBI 2, Royals RBI 1.